For centuries, we have modeled the universe as a massive, dead machine built from physical gears and solid parts. But when we look closely, that mechanical structure dissolves. Beneath physical reality is a quantum field of overlapping waves, infinite probabilities, and chaotic signals. If reality is an endless, roaring ocean of cosmic information, there is a very practical question to ask. Why doesn't human consciousness simply drown in the overload? We assume our instruments can measure the absolute edges of space, but the deeper we look, the more our maps break down. Our most advanced observational tools are hitting walls they cannot reconcile. This chart shows the Hubble tension, one of the most persistent problems in modern astrophysics. The line measuring the early universe and the line measuring the late universe give us contradictory rates of expansion. The math refuses to align. We see similar limits when observing fast radio bursts and the strict constraints on causal loops. The deep space medium is not an empty void that allows anything to happen. It enforces rigorous rules on exactly which signals are permitted to travel and how they arrive. Physics is slamming directly into the measurement problem. The limits of our instruments suggest the universe requires a filter, a specific boundary that decides which raw, infinite information actually becomes a real, solid experience for the observer. When our modern technical maps fail at the boundary, we have to look at how earlier cultures modeled the limit itself. The symbol of the cosmic egg appears across global traditions as a compressed data format, a beautiful way to visually describe the exact same threshold that quantum mechanics is hitting in our laboratories today. In this model, the shell is an abstract principle rather than a literal brick wall at the end of the galaxy. It is a boundary of information, not an industrial barrier floating in the dark. It operates as an observer safety architecture to protect the human mind. Symbolically, the shell points directly to a crucial, rate-limiting membrane. This diagram illustrates the mechanism. It takes a massive, chaotic wave of cosmic data and funnels it through a narrow, structured bottleneck. It steps down the infinite wave, so a finite human nervous system can survive the experience of reality. We see this translation layer mapped out in the ancient Chinese 100 schools of thought. Legalism outlined the strict, authoritative limit layer, while Taoism described the fluid, non-coercive wave layer. These differing philosophies were describing a single operating system. They were mapping the necessary checkpoint between cosmic excess and human survival. This gives us a concrete way to read ancient mythology. Civilizations were not inventing random characters. They were naming specific functional jobs at the boundary of reality. When an ancient text introduces a gatekeeper, it is describing transition logic. When it describes a judge at the end of the world, it is mapping the sorting mechanism that collapses quantum probabilities. Take the Egyptian deity Thoth. He is depicted with writing instruments, but his actual cosmic function is memory, record-keeping, and signal routing. The Roman tradition uses a different cultural interface to achieve the same result. Mercury performs that identical routing and messenger function for the system. Strip away the mythic costumes, and these figures represent the mechanics of wave collapse. They are the celestial offices managing how data crosses the cosmic boundary. Modern quantum equations and ancient sacred architecture look entirely different on the surface, but they are solving the same problem. Ancient sacred architecture functioned as a physical manifestation of this boundary. It turned the structure itself into an interface. This schematic shows a temple wall map, a complex layout detailing sorting rules and boundary limits of the cosmos. These individual bands of figures and celestial boats establish specific access protocols, acting as translation layers for anyone standing underneath. Different civilizations disagree on the aesthetic details of these maps, but the underlying code remains invariant. An infinite universe requires a local interface to be understood. Recognizing this pattern is what we call the Great Remembrance. It is about learning to actively decompress reality today, rather than feeling nostalgia for lost civilizations. Because the true boundary of the universe is not out there in the dark, billions of light years away at the edge of a telescope's lens. The boundary is located exactly where infinite data meets the observer. Your own consciousness and physical nervous system form the very edge of the map. The cosmic egg is the active, living instrument panel of reality, and you are the one operating it.